Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to day 4 of sleep training.
This morning is not going well.
No.
The girls had a bit of a rough night last night. Freya was being a flaily butt.
Yeah.
Valorie didn't get a whole lot of sleep.
Nope. She slept. She was just...
Yes. Freya slept. She had a good night's sleep,
Yeah.
but she's a very loud sleeper, so nobody else got any sleep.
So when we put her down last night, she stayed asleep, but I didn't do the dream feed like I normally do. So she woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. No, 1 o'clock? 2 o'clock?
You said 2.
2. And then I put her back in the crib when I was done feeding her. And then she woke up again at 3. Then she woke up again at 5. And so at 5 o'clock I just kept her in bed with us. And she was kicking me and hitting me and scratching me and flailing around and grunting. And like she's asleep the whole time.
Yeah, she's fine.
So I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
And now we've put her down for her first nap. And as you can
Yeah.
maybe hear, it's not going well.
Yeah, not right off the bat. So what happened with nap time this time? The whole setting up for the first sleep.
So
what went on there?
I fed her out here and then had Cody go put her down, and she lost her mind.
Yeah, because we've also started giving her solid foods on the recommendation of our pediatrician, like, mashing up avocado and stuff like that. So we did that yesterday. So today she's a little gassy, her stomach's a little upset. In the middle of feeding, she started farting and then screaming at Valorie like it was her fault.
Yeah.
So feeding got interrupted. So I tried taking her to bed and she was having none of that. So Valorie fed her. And then...
Then Cody tried to put her down. She was
Yeah.
having none of that.
Yeah.
And then she's, as we maybe discussed, gets very distracted when she's eating. So I didn't think she got enough to eat.
Easily distracted.
So then I took her and tried to put her down, and she was obviously very hungry still. So then I fed her laying down. And then she fell asleep right away. And I was like, no, we can't feed to sleep. This isn't what we're doing. So I popped my breast out and took her off and, went to go burp her and woke her up, obviously. And she wasn't very happy about that. Got a few burps out of her, and then she started to fall asleep on my shoulder. And I was like, no, you can't fall asleep on my shoulder. So I woke her up a little bit, put her down in the crib, and boy, it was like all hell broke loose.
Yeah, it's kind of like we created a new habit of waking her up when she was trying to sleep, and now she's just a little rage ball. Although...
She's calming down.
Yeah, she's...
This is her second round of being quiet now.
Yeah.
And the 5-minute timer hasn't gone off yet.
I have no doubt that she's still awake, but this here, less than 5 minutes into it, so, that's promising. Valerie just accidentally squeaked one of her toys twice and she didn't even flinch.
Why do all baby toys sound like dog toys?
Because intellectually they're on par. So, yeah, wow, the lighting changed a lot there. Good thing Valerie's so good at editing. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, my beard's a little unruly.
You need to brush it, it's getting so long.
Yeah, brush the old beard.
I think she actually maybe fell asleep.
Yeah,
I think we're good. Less than 5
I think
minutes.
she might be asleep.
But a lot of crying that time.
Yeah, she was not happy at the outset, but she got her poop in a group rather rapidly.
Rapid poop grouping.
Yep. Nap number 1 is underway. Yay!
See you guys for the next one.
See you in the next update.
Alright, first nap of the day has been very short. She napped for 40 minutes and then woke up screaming, I think because she had a gas bubble. So I went in there and I burped her, and she had a tiny burp and she farted a bunch and she cried. And then I put her back down and set a 5-minute timer, which she cried through that entire 5-minute timer. And then I set another 5-minute timer and she cried through, well, she didn't really cry through the second one. The second one, she was awake, a little bit fussy, but was trying to go back to sleep. And that timer went off, and now she's still restless, but I think she's trying to go to sleep. So I think I'm just gonna set another 5-minute timer and see how she does. And if she still doesn't fall asleep, well then I guess I'm just gonna go get her and it'll be a short nap for the day. Also, I apologize for the background noise. Cody's being an awesome husband and cooking breakfast, so yeah. Alright, so every once in a while I see her move, but her eyes are closed and she's not fussing anymore. So I think she's gone back to sleep. And it only took her like 12 minutes again. Longer than I'd like, but you know what? She's sleeping again, so that's good. She's awake. So she slept for 45 minutes. And then again for 50 minutes.
Well, I will look at you guys because somebody's too good to acknowledge the rest of the world. Or maybe she's just like looking back at the bedroom like, no, you haven't changed my bum yet. But she was doing all her adorable little stretches and rollies and kickies and stuff, so I figured I'd give her a few seconds before I tried to get a diaper on these flailing legs.
So it is now 11:53. She went down at 10. So
woke up briefly at 10:30 for about 12 minutes.
Yeah, and then went back to bed. So success.
Success.
All right. Freya's really not wanting to look over here.
Hey, where's Mom?
Freya bear. Hi, beautiful. Oh, you look so grumpy.
I just love that angry old man face.
Why do you look so grumpy?
Who's so mad?
Are you a grumpy baby?
Hey, you! It's me! What you doing? Hi there! There's that smile. There's my happy baby.
She's like, guys, I'm just waking up. Leave me alone.
Hey guys, I haven't booted up Freya OS yet.
Alright, so Cody took Freya for a walk because it is a beautiful day out. It is currently 12:16 p.m. if you can see that. So yeah, she was, I guess, yawning a lot on the walk. So much so he thought she was going to fall asleep in the stroller. So we put her down. She's playing with her shirt. Set the timer. Timer is set for 5 minutes. She was crying crazy bad when he first put her down. But the first 5-minute timer is set, and now we just kind of wait and see how she does. Alright, so the first 5-minute timer went off, and she was still awake. She wasn't crying, she wasn't fussing, she was just chewing on her hands. Still awake, but trying to self-soothe and go to bed. So I set a second 5-minute timer. I didn't bother going in there because, like I said, she wasn't crying, she wasn't fussing, she wasn't upset. I could see that she was trying to go to sleep, so I didn't bother to disturb her. I just set another 5-minute timer. And before the second 5-minute timer could go off, she fell asleep. So there she is, passed out. Look at that little baby belly. So I'll start the timer and see how long she naps for. This is her second nap of the day. It's now 2:29, 2:30? Yeah, 2:30. So it's 2:30 right now, so a little late. I was hoping that we'd get her down for her second nap by 2, but like I said, Cody took her for a walk and they got back like 10 after 2 or so, quarter after 2, somewhere around there. So she's napping. Generally, she only naps for like 20 to 40 minutes. So we will see. I'm really hopeful that with the sleep training, she'll nap longer. So we'll see how this goes, and I will chat with you guys when she wakes up.
Hey guys, just me checking in after the last nap. Valorie is currently feeding Freya, and Valerie's not feeling well. She's her tummy's real upset. But yeah, Valerie's feeding Freya. The nap went pretty good. I took her for a walk. We left it around, I don't know, 2:15 or so. Went for a little half-hour walk, just sort of around the block here, little ways, and I did a little bit of running because that's probably a good thing that I should start doing because, you know, I haven't really moved at all in more than is proper. So I took Freya up, and she was yawning really good. She was real tired when we came back, but she couldn't quite fall asleep. While we were out and about, out in public, it was too bright and too loud and too many weird noises and stuff like that. So she didn't fall asleep, so she came home real tired. I had just changed her diaper before we left, so I basically just picked her out of the stroller and put her into bed, and she was out, I think, before the first timer went off. Like, she fell asleep really quick because she was that tired, which was really good. And she slept for about half hour, 35 minutes, something like that. I got a shower in, Valerie got a shower in, and yeah, now Val's just feeding Freya. So that is how it went for this, and we'll check back in a little later on when we go to put her down for the night.
Alright, so the 5-minute timer went off, and Freya is still screaming and crying. So normally after the 5-minute timer, if she was still crying, we would go in there and just rub her belly and try to calm her down a bit. But she's like really screaming. I don't know if you can hear that or not. So Cody's gone back in there and he's gonna try and burp her again. He tried to burp her before he put her down and she didn't burp. So he's trying again now. Try and calm her down a bit, and then we will set the timer for another 5 minutes. Okay, that one was really hard. We set off the 5-minute timer. She cried throughout the whole thing. And then when the timer went off, Cody went in there and picked her up to try and burp her. And she wouldn't burp for him, and she was screaming, like crying so hard. I think
It was heartbreaking.
yeah. And she wouldn't settle down for him, so I went in there and rubbed her belly and tried to burp her. I barely got any burps out of her, but rubbed her belly a lot. How long do you think I was in there for? Like another 5 minutes, maybe 10? So another 5 minutes of that, and then I put her down and she screamed in protest and cried a little. But by the time I walked down the hallway and sat back down on the couch, she's pretty much sleeping. Like I can see her, you know, moving a little bit, but she's not crying, she's not fussing anymore. So I think she fell asleep. So I'm thinking more than anything it was just she must have had a gas bubble or something trapped, or something was bugging her and she was causing her pain, and that's what was keeping her up. Because normally when she's crying or fussing after the 5-minute timer, we would just go in and, like, you know, rub her belly a little and kiss her and then leave the room again. But we made sure we picked her up at the end of that timer because she was still crying, and the crying was getting more hysterical, and we were like, that's not like her cry of protest, that's like a pain cry. Yeah, she's definitely asleep now. So she fell asleep really quickly then, once that gas bubble was out of her. Like that probably took like 2 minutes for her to fall asleep. But leading up to that, that was really painful to go through. That sucked. But yeah, so this is her last nap of the day. It'll probably be really short. They're never very long. But again, we'll check in with you guys when this one's done. So as expected, that last nap she woke up from at about 6 o'clock. So she napped for 30 minutes.
Precisely when I said she would wake up.
Oh, my hair.
The dad sense is strong with this one.
Yes. So it is now 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I have just put Freya down. She is, we set the 5-minute timer. She's not crying, she's not upset.
She's
not
working on self-soothing.
Yeah, she was already kicking her legs and doing her whole self-soothing thing before we even left the room. I think she's still awake. Every once in a while I can hear her like make a sound.
Cooing and gooing and
yeah,
this and that.
But she's not crying or nothing, so I think she's going to be out here
shortly.
Pretty quick, actually. She's not moving anymore, so
yeah.
She might have already fallen asleep in under 5 minutes. But bedtime's definitely getting easier. Naps can still be a bit of a struggle, but bedtime is so much easier now. Because it used to take like an hour to put her down, and she was eating the entire time. So my poor nipples. So now it's just like a quick and easy, like 5 to 7 minute feed is all she seems to want, and then she goes to bed.
Yep.
So
pretty great. And now we have like a bunch of evening left where we can like have supper and we can watch our shows or whatever, you know, muck around on the iPad, play The Sims, who knows? Yeah. The world is our oyster.
Yeah, she's totally asleep now. So I'm gonna end this here. This is the end of day 4. I think it's day 4, yeah. Today's the end of day 4, so we'll end this here and we will chat with you guys in the morning.
Yeah, we will.
Bye.
Bye.